Now, in less than 2 weeks, South Africans go to the polls and political parties and their leaders are intensifying their campaigns to try and persuade voters. DA leader John Steenhuisen is campaigning in the Kouga municipality at St. Francis Bay. That's in the Eastern Cape. Steenhuisen is expected to conduct an oversight inspection at 2 new boreholes and water purifying plants.
Please let us know what led to the decision of visiting the water treatment plant. What have you observed with regards to water in the area?
Well, I've been travelling around South Africa as part of the election campaign, and even yesterday we were in Mfuleni in the Vaal region, Gauteng, where the big complaint is there's no water in the taps for people there. And so this is a contrast. I think it's an innovative solution that we should be replicating in municipalities around South Africa, which it means that municipalities are able to ensure there's water in the taps for residents. Just chatting to some of the residents in Mfuleni yesterday, they say it's been almost 10 years since the taps ran dry, and it is a source of major frustration and of course a major health risk. So when you've got municipalities that are innovating in the way that this DA-run Kouga municipality is operating, it obviously means that residents are spared the ill effects of drought and water shortages. And I think that as climate change starts to grip the country in the way that it is doing, that municipalities are going to have to focus a lot more on becoming resilient to be able to deal with these issues, rather than letting people go without water and have drought doing devastating consequences to your municipal income and the like. So I think that municipalities around the country should be taking a leaf out of the book of Kouga here, the first plastic road. Now we've got these innovative package plants that are ensuring people have access to drinking water, to ensure that we build resilient local government municipalities so that people don't suffer.
Okay. I'm knowing that the Eastern Cape is faced with a number of water issues. What are some of the implementations that you would like to see happen in the Eastern Cape?
Yeah, well, I'd like to see more municipalities following this example. There's no reason why this can't be replicated in small municipalities all over the Eastern Cape to prevent the ill effects that we've seen of drought and the like. But also, it's important to look at how the cost containment process has worked in this municipality. There's been no padding of contracts so that people can benefit from the kickbacks here. And being able to deliver something like this for around 3.5 million rand is excellent value for money, and shows that when you spend the money correctly, it benefits the people on the ground the most. So there's no reason for any municipality in the Eastern Cape to be saying, well, there's no water, we're in the midst of a drought. Here is the solution, and it should be replicated in municipalities all over the Eastern Cape.
What are some of your other plans as the Democratic Alliance for your campaign going forward to oversee other issues in the Eastern Cape?
Well, obviously the big thing here is health. Healthcare is really hits rock bottom here when you have terrible stories of young babies being born and having to be put into vegetable boxes because there's not incubators. The rats and bloody bandages and terrible conditions in healthcare facilities here are appalling. The second thing here is unemployment. Unemployment is massively high in the Eastern Cape, and particularly young people. 7 out of 10 young people cannot find work in the Eastern Cape. We've got to do something to boost the local economy here. The Eastern Cape has all the ingredients. It's got massively beautiful natural resources. It's got wonderful infrastructure. It is a really magnificent province, but it's not leveraging these things to the benefit of the people. So I think there's got to be a lot more investment by the Eastern Cape government into leveraging the benefits of this province into something that translates into something meaningful for the residents here. And then lastly, childhood malnutrition is a huge problem here in the Eastern Cape. There are literally families that are getting by with only 1 meal a day, and it's starting to have an impact on young children here in the Eastern Cape. We've seen children that are literally starving to death, and it cannot be right in a country where you're spending 8 billion rand on VIP protection services that you've got children starving to death in the Eastern Cape. So those are the big things we've got to focus on.
Thank you very much. That was the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, explaining to us that some of the plans that they have for their campaign throughout the Eastern Cape is to look at the health issues around this province as they continue campaigning ahead of the elections. After this, they will be heading to a public meeting here in St. Francis Bay.